Hey, foodie friends, and welcome to Chef's Recipe Spotlight with Jessica Ann, where we talk about all things food. First of all, I'm going to apologize that my voice is a little rough today. I had to have my gallbladder removed, and I'm still recovering from the tube and anesthesia and all that stuff, and I sound a little rough. But we're here to talk about the food that I, at this point, cannot eat, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, we're so excited to share our culinary creation of the day. It is another one of our most popular recipes, and it is for at-home hibachi. So this hibachi recipe became really popular during the COVID months. We were looking for things to do with our kids and keep them occupied, as well as keeping ourselves occupied. And while we did a lot of silly stunts we saw on Instagram, one of the other things we did was make an at-home hibachi counter using an electric griddle. And this was, gosh, I think Blackstones, I don't even know if they were out yet, but they certainly weren't popular yet. So this recipe has gained popularity as people have gotten Blackstone flat top grills. But we did it on an electric griddle, and my kids just thought it was the bee's knees. To see mom throwing shrimp around our kitchen, just throwing food in general, was probably the funniest thing they ever saw. But it's gotten a lot of popularity, and since then we've refined it a little bit because more and more people enjoy it. We've added seafood and vegetables and fried rice to the mix, and of course yum yum sauce, because no hibachi is put together without yum yum sauce. Okay, so for the chicken, we're going to just talk about the chicken today. There is seafood in the recipe card, but for the chicken, it's a great recipe because it doesn't require any marinating, and it's actually pretty simple to put together. We're going to use chicken breast, chicken thighs, or you can swap in steak or pork here if you want to, but I really like using chicken breast in this particular recipe and cut them into little bite-sized pieces. You don't want to have to use a knife. Okay, heat your griddle or your flat top grill to 350 degrees. Even go a tad below if you have the ability to do that. 350 degrees is the smoke point for most oils. We're going to use a vegetable oil. You can also use canola or peanut oil, anything with that high smoke point. When it is hot, when the oil is hot, don't put it all on together. Add your chicken and lay it out into a flat layer. When it is nice and browned, which is about 2 to 3 minutes, flip it again. The brown on the chicken is what is adding flavor to the chicken. When you get it to the desired temperature that you want it, which is, well, obviously chicken cooked, right? But also browned, put it all in a little pile, put it all in a little mound, and then in the little center, make a well, like a little divot. It doesn't have to be perfect. And that's where you're going to add the butter, soy sauce, sesame oil, ginger, and garlic. So basically you've made just like a little chicken bowl, if you will. Toss it all together until the meat is coated in the sauce. And right before you serve it, spritz it with fresh lemon juice and season it with salt and pepper. Really, really, really do use fresh lemon juice here. Citrus, as soon as it is harvested, starts losing its flavor. The stuff in a bottle is from a concentrate, and it just doesn't have the fresh punch that a fresh lemon will. Okay, so for the vegetables, and you can do these at the same time depending on how big your grill is, you want to pick veggies that are going to cook at a similar rate. Or you've got to time it like orchestra, put it all together. So you put on the stuff that takes a little bit longer to cook and then less long and least long. So in our case, we're going to use zucchini, onion, and mushroom. I used a white onion because that's the most common, but you can use a red onion too if you'd like to. Or as my daughter would say, purple onion. Mom, they're not red. They are clearly purple. She's not wrong, is she? Okay, so get that vegetable oil nice and hot. Again, about 350 or a tad under. I do more of a matchstick cut on the zucchinis here, and I like that. It's about 3-inch pieces. I can still pick them up with my fork and eat them, but it just gives some variation in the cuts. Okay, so go ahead and cook the zucchini, brown it on all sides, add the onion in. This will be about 4 to 5 minutes. For these veggies, you still want them to be a little bit toothy and hold their shape. You don't want them to be completely mush. That's no good. Okay, last, add those mushrooms in. Mushrooms are going to take the least amount of time to cook, and here we're looking to sweat them. What does sweat the mushrooms mean? Just means that we want to release all of the water that's in them so they shrink down but keep their deep, earthy, mushroomy flavor. Okay, take about another 3 to 4 minutes in there. Pile all these in the center again, make yourself a little vegetable bowl, and then toss it with the butter, the soy sauce, and spritz it with lemon. You can use salt and pepper here if you want to as well. And of course, do that with seafood too, and then make either lo mein or fried rice or cauliflower fried rice. Any of those go wonderful with this at-home hibachi. And make sure to throw a few shrimp at your family because it's just not the same without it, okay? As always, we hope to give you some culinary inspiration, fun stuff to do with your family, spend quality time in the kitchen. We want to hear about your thoughts, comments, experiences, tips, and tricks. Leave them in the comment section and make sure you subscribe to our newsletter and to our podcast. You'll make sure to get new videos, fun recipes, and more little daily recipe tidbits like this one. From my kitchen to yours, keep on cooking.